Hi. Today I wanted to talk about how when we hurt somebody else, we hurt ourselves too. So before we get into that specifically, there's a couple of concepts that we need to understand. The first is that we are emitting a signal every second of every day. We're always emitting a signal. Whether we're aware of it or not, that signal exists and we're emitting it and we're attracting back into our future based on the signal that we're emitting right now. So what that means is if we're tense, if we're afraid right now, that is part of our signal. And we're going to get that feeling back in our future. The same feeling, that feeling of being tense or that feeling of being fear or both. Whatever the signal that we are emitting right now, we're going to attract back into our future, whether or not we're aware of it. The other concept to keep in mind is that self-awareness, how aware we are of ourselves and how we're feeling, is a spectrum. Some of us have so many defenses around us that we are just not aware of how we feel. We may have been traumatized or hardened so that we don't know how we feel. We don't want to know how we feel, so it is hidden inside of us. However, just because we don't know or we can't feel what we're feeling, those feelings are still inside of us. So that is one end of the spectrum of awareness. And it goes many, many, many layers deep so that we can become aware at a very deep level. But those of us who are aware at a deeper level, those of us who have fewer traumas or have released the traumas that we have inside of us, we have an awareness of how we're feeling in any moment. We can feel our emotions, we can feel deeper inside. So keep those two concepts in mind as we talk about hurting others. So imagine you are a young child and you experience your parents arguing. You experience both of them. You experience one parent, they may be the perpetrator in this case, and you will experience the other parent who may be the victim in this experience, or they may both be arguing at the same level. You're experiencing both of them, and you're also experiencing your emotions inside. So you're experiencing the whole part of that equation. The same thing happens when we hurt someone. We are experiencing their experience of being hurt. We can see how they're hurt. We can feel how they're being hurt at a deep level. However, we may not be aware of it. That depends on our level of self-awareness. But when we are experiencing their hurt, we're experiencing our feelings, our emotions about it, even if we're not aware of it. We're also experiencing their hurt and their emotions and their pain, even if we're not aware of it. And when we are experiencing that, that is our signal in this moment. That pain, that feeling of experiencing their pain, that is part of us. It's part of our signal in that moment. And it's the signal we are emitting to the universe, and it is what we are going to get back into our future. So if we have little self-awareness, if we have been hardened by our past or by being in one of the services, then we have little self-awareness. We are not aware of what we are feeling, and we are not aware of what the other is feeling. Otherwise, we would not do this. We would not hurt. We would not kill someone else. We couldn't. So even if we're not aware of it, we are feeling it inside, subconsciously. It is part of us, and it is hurting ourselves now through our signal, and it's going to hurt ourselves in the future. For an example, imagine someone who is very comfortable killing rats. They have hardened themselves so that they're comfortable killing rats. After that, they are going to be called on whenever they need someone to kill a rat, because they know this person is able to do that. They have hardened themselves against it. They are going to be feeling it in that moment. That is the signal they are emitting, but they are getting it back again because people know that they have hardened themselves against it and they're no longer affected by it. So they're going to experience it again and again and again. Those who have more self-awareness, though, they're not going to want to kill a rat. And if they have to do it for some reason, they are going to be squeamish. They're going to hold themselves tight, physically tight, while they kill a rat, because they do not want to have to feel the pain that they know is inside of them when they're killing a rat. And in that moment, that is their signal. That feeling of tension, of not wanting to feel inside, that is going to be their signal that they're emitting right now. And they are going to get that back in their future. In that forcing themselves to do something they don't want to do, they're holding themselves in tension. They're emitting that signal, and they are going to get it back. They're going to get that feeling of forcing themselves to do something they don't want to do. They're going to get that back in their future. So the person doing the actual hurting, the soldiers, the rapists, the human traffickers, the murderers, the executioners, they are the ones hurting themselves the most, because they're experiencing the hurt in the others in the moment that they're hurting them. They are often the most hardened, the least self-aware, and they are hurting themselves the most. It's much easier to stand back and being the one ordering the war, ordering the battle, ordering the execution, ordering the separation of children from their families, because often those people won't actually do it themselves. They are too self-aware to do the work themselves, to do the separation themselves, to do the murder themselves. So they have someone who is hardened to do it, but they are still hurting themselves because they know inside of themselves that there is pain involved. It's much easier to ask someone else to go and kill that spider than to go and kill it ourselves. There is a level of separation there, but we still know inside of ourselves that it's happening. We're still hurting ourselves. Watching the movie The Sound of Freedom was the reason I decided to do this video, because those people who are forcing those children to be trafficked, they need to know that they are hurting themselves. They are hurting the children, but they are absolutely hurting themselves too. And it's in their best interest, it's in everyone's best interest that they don't do it. Any perpetrator is hurting themselves. One of the things I've noticed in the inner work that I do is that as I release the traumas from the past, the tension from the past, in order to fully release it, I have to experience the feelings that have happened during that event. Not only my feelings, but the feelings of the other people involved in that event. Those have been stored inside of me and have to be acknowledged and felt and experienced before they will release. So what that means to me, and I believe this goes along with Jesus saying that you want to die before you die, I believe that inner work is doing that. It's releasing those feelings and those emotions and those memories right here, now, in this lifetime. However, I believe that they are stuck inside of us. And if we don't do it right now, here in this lifetime, we will do it when we die. When our soul pulls out of our body at the end of life, we will have to experience the pain and suffering that others have gone through with something that we have done. So if we have been a perpetrator and experienced both sides of the equation, experienced our feelings, even if not consciously, and experienced the victim's feelings, even if not consciously, they are still inside of us. They are stuck inside of us with tension, and we will have to experience it when we release that tension on death. So if you've been a perpetrator in the past, if you've had others suffer because of what you have done, go through it now. Go through those past events, use a technique like EFT to release the emotions and the memories from those past events so that you can live life now in peace inside, and you don't have to go through that pain and suffering when you die. Good luck with that. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.